In this video, I'm going to be ranking every single sales funnel you can use as a coach, consultant, or agency in this new era of marketing in 2026. So I'm going to rank all these 12 sales funnels from them being extremely effective, proven to work, decent, can work, wouldn't recommend, or them being a complete waste of time. So let's get into it. First off, we have the automated webinar. And the automated webinar starts with obviously an opt-in page. And after the opt-in page, you have an opt-in form with name, email, phone number. And after the opt-in form, you usually want to have some sort of one-time offer. And the reason you want to have a one-time offer is to increase your average order value, because you will be running most likely some ads to your webinar. And the faster you can liquidate your ad spend, the better. And that's exactly why you want to have these one-time offers to increase your average order value and to liquidate your ad spend almost immediately before the event has even started. And after the one-time offer page, you have a thank you page where you congratulate people on signing up, and you usually also have some sort of questionnaire to collect more info from all your leads, from all your opt-ins, and you tell people that you use this information to tailor the event for them, but in reality, you use this information later on in the sales calls to make them easier. But then also on the thank you page, you usually want to have some button to add the event to their calendar so they don't forget it. But also after people sign up, you want to put them to some sort of pre-event sequence where you send reminders and nurture emails to warm them up before the event. And then you obviously have the webinar, the workshop, and a pretty standard structure is intro, value, offer, and then a Q&A. And from the event, people will fill out a qualification form, then they go to calendar to book a call, and then you always have your thank you page, pre-call sequence, and then we come to the sales call where the closer will now use the info that they got from the info form to close clients easier. And Dan Henry runs this exact same strategy. This is his opt-in page for the webinar, then he has his opt-in form, one-time offer page, then he has his thank you page, here his questionnaire, and then this all leads to his webinar. After webinar, he then guides people to his main high ticket offer. And the good thing about the automated webinar is that it builds a lot of trust. It warms up your leads and prospects a lot. Because as you all know, on average, it takes around 7 hours of exposure to turn someone from a stranger to a client. And the webinar is around, 2 to 3 hours long. So you get a lot of exposure, you get people to know, like, and trust you. And the webinar is also a very attractive offer for cold traffic who don't know you yet, because you're giving away a lot for free. But the hard thing with the webinar is that people's attention spans are very short these days. So it's very hard to retain people for 2 to 3 hours. And it's also very hard to get cold traffic to actually show up for the event. So your show up rate will be pretty low, and also not many people will watch it to the end. So it's pretty hard to pull off. You need to be very good at marketing and retaining people, but it does work. And that's exactly why I will rank the automated webinar into proven to work. Because it does work, but you have to be very skillful to pull it off. And next up, we have the video sales letter. And this is probably the most famous and most used sales funnel out there. And it's very simple. First, you have your VSL page with headline and video, which is the main part, and then you have a CTA button. And from the VSL page, people will fill out your qualification form, and from there, the qualified prospects will come to your calendar, and after they book a call, you have your thank you page, and then again a pre-call sequence that leads up to the sales call. And the beauty with the video sales letter is that it's very simple. It's not hard to do, it's not hard to pull off. Obviously, the main driver is the video itself, and no one gets the VSL right the first try. You have to do a few iterations, but when it works extremely well. And the VSL works very, very well for warm traffic, but it's not as good for cold traffic. The reason being because you don't get so much exposure, because your VSL should be around 4 to 12 minutes. People don't have the attention spans to watch, a 50-minute VSL. But overall, the VSL funnel is one of the best funnels to get started and to convert warm traffic. And here's an example of a VSL funnel from Dango. You see a very simple headline, video, and a CTA button to apply now with case studies below. And then he has his qualification form, booking page, and call. It's very simple, but it's very effective. It works very well. And that's exactly why I ranked the VSL funnel into extremely effective. Even though it doesn't work as well for cold traffic, I don't recommend that you run cold traffic to a VSL, but it's still extremely effective for warm traffic. This is absolutely the best funnel for warm traffic that you can have. And then up next, we have the lead magnet funnel. The lead magnet funnel starts with an opt-in page. And from the opt-in page, you promise something for free, a free deliverable. And a free deliverable can be, a standard lead magnet, so a PDF, a guide, an ebook, or something. But it can also be a video. So if you think back to the VSL funnel you just saw, let me draw it real quickly. So then when people click play on the video, then it opens this pop-up form, and they have to complete this pop-up form in order to watch the video. So the lead magnet can be a video. The lead magnet can be the VSL video. But the more standard approach is to have some sort of deliverable, like a PDF, a digital product. So when people then opt in, then they have to complete the opt-in form with name, email, phone number. And after the opt-in form, people are pushed to a thank you VSL page. And from this VSL page, people can then go and book a call. And what you want to do is within your lead magnet, within your digital product, you need to have CTAs, you need to have links to your main high ticket offer, to your calendar. And you also want to have an email sequence after the people have opted in that pushes people to your calendar page to book a call. And then after calendar, here is the basic same stuff as on every single funnel. Here's an example of a lead magnet funnel. So here you see Ryan Pineda, and this is his opt-in page, and he has his opt-in form on his opt-in page. And this is something I also recommend that you do. By having the opt-in form on your opt-in page, you will get many, many more people to actually complete it instead of having it after the opt-in page like that. And this then goes to a VSL. So his lead magnet is a video, like I talked about before. And lead magnet is very efficient to get new people to your ecosystem because you're offering them something for free. But a few downsides with the lead magnet, with a standard lead magnet, is that the lead magnet itself is pretty generic. You know, it's a standard PDF or digital product, and pretty many people these days just can't be bothered to read your ebook or 7 best tactics to increase ROAS, for example. And the reason is that everyone else also offers the same thing. And probably the biggest reason is that they can go and get the same information from ChatGPT, from Google, or just find a YouTube video. So why would they want to opt in, give the name, email, phone number, something that they can find on YouTube, for example? And the second downside is that from all your opt-ins, you only get name, email, and phone number. You don't get any real information about your leads. So you don't know which leads are qualified and which leads are not qualified. So based on all those reasons, I will put the lead magnet into decent. You know, it does work, it is okay, but there are a few downsides to it. And then next up, we have the event funnel. And this is pretty similar to the automated webinar, but instead of it being automated, it's live. And also the event can be more than, one session, more than one day. The event can be like 5 days. So the event starts with the registration page where people can buy their tickets. And I don't recommend having free events. They are very, very hard to pull off, and you need to have a large team for that. You need to be very, very good at marketing. Most often when you have paid events, you also attract much, much more higher quality people to the event that actually show up and watch it. Because free people haven't committed anything. They aren't committed to the event at all. So they don't lose anything by no showing. But if you have paid for a ticket, you are going to watch it. If you are ever going to run an event, run paid tickets, because then you don't have to worry about no shows or audience quality. And after the registration page, you have the checkout page. And after checkout, you want to have a VIP upsell. So the same ticket, but for a way higher price and with a lot of bonuses on why they should upgrade. Then a low ticket one-time offer page. And again, the reason why you want to have these upsells and VIP upgrades is again because you want to increase your average order value. Because you're going to be running ads to this, you want to liquidate your ad spend as fast as possible. And then after that, you have your form page, pretty similar to the automated webinar. You want to get some information about your leads. And this form page goes to the pre-event form that people fill up. Then you have your thank you page. And from the thank you page, you want to push people to a pre-event group. Because this event is live, it's not an automated webinar, so it's very important that you have a group where you can nurture people and send reminders. And you also want to tell people to add the event to their calendar. And in this pre-event group, you will send the reminders. There you will have all your free resources, and you will nurture people so they show up pre-sold to the event. And then you can run a 1 to 5 day event. And in this event, again, it's very similar structure to the webinar. So you have intro, value, offer, and Q&A. And this offer, it's not every day. If you run a 5-day event, you should introduce your offer pretty early, already around the 3rd day. Don't wait until the 5th day to promote your offer, because then you will have lost already a large portion of the audience. So make sure to promote your offer already on the 2nd or 3rd day, even if you run a 5-day event. And then when you promote the offer, you will send it to the WhatsApp group. And from the WhatsApp group, the people will then go to a standard VSL funnel, similar to the one I showed before. And this exact event structure is the one that Eamon Gadzhi uses in all of his live events. For example, in the One Things. So if you have attended any of Eamon Gadzhi's events, this structure will be very familiar to you. And the thing with the event is that it's very, very effective to get clients because you get so much exposure during the 1 to 5 day event. People will know you so well, they will have so much trust built up, and they will like you a lot. But again, an event is very, very difficult to run. You have to set up a lot of different pages. You have to create all these resources. You have to create all these WhatsApp groups. You have to create all these, flows. You have to script, an entire 5-day event or even a 1-day event. It takes a lot of effort to script these events. You have to create all the slides and all of this. So this takes up a lot of work, a lot of time, but it is extremely effective. And that's why I will put it into proven to work. Again, because it works so well, but it takes up a lot of time. It's very, very hard to pull off. And then next up, we have the quiz funnel. And I will already tell you, the quiz funnel is my favorite. And the quiz funnel begins similarly to the lead magnet with an opt-in page. But instead of just having, an opt-in, you have a quiz form. And the quiz form, again, it should start on the opt-in page. On this quiz form, you obviously ask the same name, email, and phone number, but you also ask relevant questions to your quiz. And then what you do from your quiz form is that you push all the qualified people to one VSL page, and you push all the unqualified people to one VSL page. And what does this do? If you run ads to your quiz funnel, well, then you will obviously need a metapixel. And the thing is that you don't want to train your ad algorithm on unqualified people, because then your ads will be shown to more people that you don't want to work with. And then your ad spend will just go to waste. So by getting your qualified leads to one page and all your unqualified leads to one page, now you can train your pixel, your ad algorithm, on only the qualified ones, because you have two different pages. So you want to only put the pixel on the VSL page where the qualified leads are. And the reason you can't do this with a normal lead magnet is that you don't know which leads are qualified and which leads are not qualified in a standard lead magnet. You only ask name, email, phone number. So all leads are the same. But in this quiz form, you get much more detailed information about all your leads, so you know exactly who is qualified and who is not. And that's one of the biggest benefits of your quiz funnel. And in general, it's very important to have information about your leads, because it also improves your attribution a lot, because now you can know exactly from which traffic sources you get most of your qualified leads and from which traffic sources you get most of your unqualified leads. And then you can put more effort into those traffic sources where you get all of your qualified leads from. But yeah, these VSL pages are standard VSL pages, and from the page where the unqualified leads are, you don't want to let them book a call. So you can guide them, for example, to your YouTube channel. But from the VSL page where the qualified leads are, then they go to a qualification form, and then you have, your standard VSL funnel here. And again, similar to the lead magnet funnel, you want to put CTAs and links within the quiz, within the lead magnet that guide people to your calendar. And you also want to have, an email sequence, a value email sequence after they've opted in for a quiz that then goes to your calendar. And a few more positives with the quiz is that a quiz is much more beneficial and valuable for a prospect, for the lead. Because as I said with normal lead magnet, they are very generic and they are the same for everyone who opts in. And people can get that information from anywhere. But with a quiz, you can give personalized value. This quiz is tailored for every single prospect, for their unique situation. And people are very selfish. They want something specifically for them, for their unique situation. So a quiz is much, much more valuable for people, and that gets many, many more people to actually want to opt in, and they will happily give a lot of information about them in this quiz form. Even though you may have 10 more questions in a quiz form compared to a normal opt-in form, you can still have as high completion rates because you're giving away something that's much more valuable, because it's tailored for them. With a normal lead magnet, you could never get away with having these many questions or these many personal questions about people. And on average, the quiz funnel also gets a higher percentage of qualified leads to opt in than normal lead magnets. Alex Hormozi also runs a quiz funnel, and he has said that around 20% of people who opt in for his quiz are qualified, compared to only 5% who buy his book. And I will come back to the book funnel later on. But this is Hormozi's quiz funnel. So he gives people a free personalized roadmap, and this then goes to his quiz form, and after people complete the quiz, they will get his free scaling roadmap. And after opt-in, they go to his VSL page, where they can then complete his qualification form and then book a call on his calendar. So for all these reasons, the quiz funnel will go into extremely, extremely effective. And then next up, we have the low ticket offer. And a low ticket offer starts with the low ticket offer page. And here you have your headline, your video, and then you have the CTA button. And after that, people will go to your checkout page, where you should have one-click upsells. Again, this is all about average order value. Every single time you have something people should buy and you run ads to it, you want to always increase your AOV as much as possible. And then after this, you have your one-time offer page, and you can have many, many one-time offers. It doesn't have to be only one. And after that, you have your VSL page. And here on out, it's again the standard VSL funnel. But again, from your digital products, you want to again integrate, you want to put CTAs and links within your digital product. And then from there, people can go to your calendar page. Because when they consume your digital product, they will receive a lot of value. They will start to know they can trust you more. So that's why you want to have CTAs in there. Otherwise, you'll be losing out on a lot of conversions. An example of a digital product is Cole Gordon. And he's selling, a $27 digital product where you can download, 7 funnels that he used to be at his 30 million company. But the thing with the low ticket digital product is that it is very good if you run ads. And that's for a couple of reasons. First of all, if you do this correctly, if you have the correct upsells and one-time offers, you can get almost 50% of your ad spend back immediately. And I've heard of people who have got 100% of your ad spend back immediately. And that means that all of your booked calls will be free or at half the cost. So that makes your cash flow much better. And it's also a lot less stressful, and you can then reinvest this money back into ads to scale faster. But the downside of low ticket offers is that people are very skeptical these days. People don't trust random strangers. And your ads are to complete strangers. They are to complete cold traffic. who don't know, like, and trust you. And because they don't trust you, many people are very hesitant to even buy, a $30 product. That's why it's so good to offer something for free for cold traffic. And for those reasons, the low ticket offer will go to proven into work. It's not extremely effective because people who don't know, like, and trust you are very skeptical. They don't trust you. But then next up, we have the book funnel. And the book funnel starts with obviously a book landing page where you can buy the book. Then you have a checkout page with again one-click upsells. Then one-time offers, very similar to the low ticket offer. And here on out is the normal VSL funnel. But the beauty with the book is that the book is a physical product, and the book builds a lot of trust. If you have written a book, you immediately get authority. So the book is a very great way to build trust and become an authority figure in your market. And then when people read your book, what you want to have is you have worksheets and tools within the book. And when people go and download them, they will go to an opt-in page, and this then starts the normal opt-in funnel that I showed you. And then also from the book, you can also have CTAs and links straight to your calendar. So the book is what builds trust, attracts people, gives a lot of value, and then it spreads people out into opt-in pages, into calendars, into a VSL funnel, and so on. And someone runs a book funnel is Sabri Suby. And most of you have probably seen Sabri Suby's book. And Sabri's book funnel is probably the most studied and most effective out there. So after his opt-in page, he has his checkout page. And from his checkout page, people will go to his one-time offer, and from there to his VSL page. And then within the book, he has CTAs and links that go to his VSL page. So here's an example. When you buy the book, you will get this letter, and here he has a link to his main high ticket offer. So the thing with the book is that it's very effective, builds a lot of authority, but it takes so much time to write a book, and especially to make it good. If you write a shit book, if you write it with AI, this won't work. So this takes a lot of time. So that's why I'm going to rank the book funnel in proven to work, because it does work, but it takes so much time. So I can't in any way put it higher than that. And then next up, we have the community funnel. And the community funnel starts with a sign up page where people can then sign up for your community. It doesn't matter if it's free or paid. And then within the community, you will obviously give a lot of value and give accountability for people. And within the community, you can then have links to a lot of different places. So for example, you can guide people to your YouTube, you can guide people to lead magnets, and you can guide people straight to booking a call with you. So straight to your qualification form, for example. And then this right here is obviously then your standard VSL funnel. You see the VSL funnel is integrated in a lot of different funnels because it's so effective. But the thing with the community is that it needs to be very active for this to be effective at all. If there are only a few people in your community, this won't work. If you're not in your community 24/7 answering questions and being present, this won't work. And if your community is not valuable, and if you don't create a family-like feeling within the community, this won't work. You need people to spend time within the community. And most communities fail because people don't spend time there. People don't come there to hang around and ask questions every day. But if you're able to build a big community, then this works well. And a trick to get more people to actually sign up to your community is to promise value within it. So if you have a lead magnet, so if you have a community and you have a lead magnet, then don't run a lead magnet funnel and a community funnel separately. You want to tell people that the lead magnet is within the community. So every single time you promote a lead magnet, you just guide people to sign up for your community. But I will rank the community into can work. It's for sure the worst so far, but it can work. If you're able to build a big community, it obviously does work. And then next up, we have the DM funnel. And the DM funnel is obviously on Instagram. And how it works is that you post a reel, and then the CTA within the reel is to comment a keyword. And it doesn't need to be only reels. You can have the same comment a keyword CTA, in your bio or in stories. But the mechanism is the same. So after people comment a keyword, they will get an instant DM. And in this DM, you can say something like, "Thanks for reaching out. Just to be clear, are you here just for the free content, or are you looking to invest in help?" If it makes sense. And that's a filter question that guides the conversation towards your high ticket offer. And then if people say that they're here for the free content, then just give them what they opted in for. So if they opted in for, a lead magnet, a YouTube video, then just send that in the DMs. But if they say that they're looking to invest for help, well, then you hold a conversation asking your qualification questions within your DMs. And if they are qualified, then just send them your calendar link, and then you have the same pre-call sequence right here. And this entire thing you create with ManyChat. It's all autonomous until this qualification part, and then you need to yourself be in the DMs answering questions. And someone that does this is again Dan Henry. For example, you see here his CTA in his video is to comment genius, and then he will send you the link to this YouTube video. And when you comment, again, you get an instant DM that starts a conversation. And this is the best funnel you can run on Instagram. It's so effective, and the reason it's so effective is because People don't have to leave the platform to take action. The only thing they have to do is comment. They can comment on the reel because when people are on Instagram, they are scrolling right on the reels, so they can just open the comments and write out the keyword. They don't have to close Instagram, go to an opt-in page or anything. It's on one platform, and you can integrate any funnel into this DM funnel. So for example, you can combine the DM funnel with the quiz funnel. Your CTA can be comment audit, and then you will send your quiz funnel, which can be an audit, and that's something that Alex Hormozi does. Alex Hormozi, when he posts Instagram Reels, his CTA is to comment roadmap, and then he will send the link to his free scaling roadmap. For those exact reasons, I will rank the DM funnel into extremely effective. And then we have 3 more, but next up we have the Instagram story funnel. And how it works is that you post these story sequences. And what you can do is that you can have them spread across many different days, or you can just run, one singular day. But what you do is that you have 5 stories in a row. The first story, you have a hook. You write out something that hooks people in. The next story is a story. And then you give value after that, then you give proof, and in the last story, you have a CTA. Within these stories, you need to have an aesthetic picture that creates the desired emotion. And if you do run this story across many different days, then obviously on the first day, you wouldn't have a CTA to your main offer yet, but you could have a CTA, for example, to a YouTube video or to your DM funnel. But then on the last day, you run the story sequence, then the CTA would be to your VSL, and then you have your standard VSL funnel. And this story sequence is extremely effective in converting your existing audience, your followers, because your Instagram stories, they're a very personal part to your profile. They are very authentic, because most often when you post Instagram stories, it just updates on your day, if you're on vacation or something like that. But then you can once in a while post these story sequences and convert a portion of your existing audience. But I will rank it into decent. It's very effective in converting your existing audience, but the thing is that you need a pretty big following for it to work. If you have 100 followers, there's no point in doing this. But if you have, let's say, 5k followers, then this is extremely effective. But again, you need that existing audience for this funnel to work. And then next up, we have the retargeting funnel. And this obviously starts with your meta ads. And first, you want to run just a normal ad. And the point of this ad is to go viral, attract new people and give a lot of value for free. And then if people watched 70% or more of the original ad, then they will be shown your retargeting ads. And this is a sequence of 10 ads designed to warm people up and nurture them. And each ad becomes more and more narrow and more direct. So with each ad going forward, you'll be more pushy, more salesy, but in the beginning you want to be more indirect and give more value. Because obviously, in the beginning, people are going to be colder, but after they have watched many ads, they will become warmer. And the colder people are, the less sales you can be, and the more free value you need to give. But after people have watched a certain amount of ads, they will be warm, and then you want to be very direct and don't beat around the bush. Then you want to send them straight to your main high-ticket offer. The next ad is always shown if they watched 70% or more of the previous ad. And after this sequence of 10 ads, you will have your main ad that goes to your main offer, and this can then, for example, go to your VSL funnel. And this entire funnel was very effective before. It wasn't the best because you don't have so much control. You need people to come back to the platform. And also, if one of these videos are very bad, then people won't exceed this threshold and then they will fall out of this sequence. And now also with the new Andromeda update on Meta, your tracking is completely fucked. Retargeting doesn't work so well anymore. So this retargeting funnel isn't so effective anymore. And that's why I rank it into wouldn't recommend. If you somehow get very good tracking, then you could do it. But with this new Andromeda update, it's not the first funnel I recommend that you create. I recommend you focus on these ones much more. And then last but not least, we have the YouTube VSL funnel. And how this works is that you have, your normal standard YouTube videos that give a lot of value and attract, a new audience to your channel, nurtures your existing audience and so on. But then within each of these videos, you want to link a YouTube VSL. So you want to have cards, you want to have end screens, you want to have descriptions, you want to have pinned comments in each video that go to your YouTube VSL. And this YouTube VSL, it's a standard VSL, a similar VSL that you could have, on your VSL page. But instead of having it on, a website, you put it natively into YouTube. And that eliminates an entire step of your funnel. Because you all know, not many people will go from your YouTube video to an external website. But you all know that people are much more likely to go to another YouTube video. So instead of having a VSL on an external website where you lose a lot of conversions here in between, you instead put it as another YouTube video. So therefore you can get a lot more people to actually watch your VSL. You can very easily get 10 times more people to watch your VSL by posting it on YouTube. And if you imagine getting 10,000 more people to your VSL page, what would that do for your business? It would be very beneficial, right? But back to it, you can't post exactly the same VSL on YouTube as you would have on your website. Because on your own website, you can get away with being much more salesy. You can have a direct CTA, just go and book a call and so on. But on your YouTube VSL, you need to disguise it as an educational video. And then you want to transition that educational video into your high ticket offer. The mindset that people need to have is that they discovered your service. They discovered what you do. It shouldn't be apparent after 20 minutes that this is a marketing video that you're selling. People should think that's a normal, very valuable YouTube video. But you should still within the video talk about your ICP's pain points, talk about their desires, bridge the gap in between, talk about your methodology, how you could solve it, and so on. And then the last 10 minutes of the video can be you transitioning into your offer. And then from this YouTube VSL, you can then guide people to, for example, a VSL funnel. And someone who does this very, very effectively is Iman Garzi. So in all of Iman's descriptions, he has, a link, a CTA to a YouTube video. And it goes to this YouTube video right here. The laziest way to make money online in 2026. And Iman doesn't run a VSL funnel, and he runs these events. But then when he launches his next event, he will put the event link here in this video's description. And a YouTube VSL works very, very well. If you have a YouTube channel, you should always interlink your YouTube videos to one sales asset. You essentially want to create this binge watching effect. So people maybe watch, one 30-minute video, because again, it takes around 7 hours of exposure to turn someone from a stranger to a client. So after they have watched, a 30, 40-minute video, then when you guide them to another video, they will already be pretty warm. And then this video will warm up even more. And then when you guide them to a VSL funnel, they will be piping hot. And a YouTube VSL funnel is also very, very easy to implement. It's not hard at all. It's simple and it doesn't take a lot of time. So that's why we rank the YouTube VSL into extremely effective. This is the best funnel you can run on YouTube. So this then is a final ranking. So if you have any more questions, I will leave my Instagram in the description below. So feel free to shoot me a DM and I will be more than happy to help you out. See you in the next one.